The most powerful single-cylinder engine in a supermoto is now being built. Ducati. The new Ducati Hypermotard 698 Mono is a single-cylinder supermoto with 77.5 horsepower. As a result, the KTM snatches away the title of most powerful single-cylinder, which could be a convincing argument, especially among the target group of younger motorcyclists. The new Hypermotard looks like a supermoto should look like: high-legged, narrow, radical. You can see that the supermoto likes to ride on the rear wheel. There are two variants. The standard 698 Mono is only available in red. It costs €12,390. The RVE we tested is only available in black and red. It costs €13,390. In addition to the other paint job, it has a quickshifter as standard and chic painted rims and a red frame. We could imagine that many people will take the cheaper Mono because it is much easier to redecorate, which is part of the good manners for hoodie riders. The machine is 2.11 m long and has a decidedly slim silhouette. The mudguard on the front wheel is mounted high up, so that the wheel does not look like a 17-inch rim at all, but much smaller. We like the two-sided swing arm made of aluminium and the underseat double exhaust system. When the machine drives the way it looks, not much can go wrong. But more on that later. The Hypermotard 698 Mono has a seat height of a generous 904 mm. That sounds almost invincible, but it's not bad at all, because due to the equally generous spring travel, it springs deeply when you sit up. You sit upright and oriented towards the front wheel. The seat is narrow and long, so you can adjust the seating position to your riding style. It weighs a feather-light 150 kilograms dry and can therefore be maneuvered like a bicycle when stationary. The handlebars are wide and high, so far everything is typical supermoto and similar to the competition, the KTM 690 SMCR. In the technical field, the new Duc plays to its strengths against the competition. It has an inverted and 3.8-inch LCD cockpit, which is not particularly large, but still provides information about the most important things: speed, gear, temperature of the coolant, daytime running lights, driving mode and RPM. And in such a way that you can really read the speed. There is cornering ABS, ride-by-wire, for riding modes, 3 power modes, wheelie and launch control, a 6-axis IMU from Bosch, engine tow control, traction control and a quickshifter as standard, RVE only. Above all, the lean angle sensors and their intervention in traction and wheelie control are noticeable. The driving modes can be configured quickly and easily, and the ABS can of course also be switched off. Don't worry, wheelies and slides are possible without any problems. The light comes completely in LED and is visually very successful. You can switch between low beam and daytime running lights via a switch, and Ducati has also thought of hazard warning lights and automatic turn signal reset. The sound of the Duc is a bit ambiguous. At a standstill it is too tame for our taste, but at a little more revs it starts to sound like Ducati, but only then. Of course, the two under-seat pots look really cool. And probably there are also termies in the accessories, which will certainly bring even more sound. So, looked at the machine, walked around it, did a seat test and did a sound check. Now it's finally time to hit the road. However, not on the go-kart track or on a racetrack, but quite normally on the country road. But even there, the Hypermotard 698 Mono is a lot of fun. As is typical for a supermoto, it turns in with ease and can be tossed back and forth like a bicycle. The low weight actually makes the Duc a brother Lightfoot. The front wheel also goes up easily, especially when the wheelie and traction control are set to tame. Actually, it always goes up at the front when you turn the throttle. No wonder, with this chassis geometry and over 77 horsepower. However, the Hypermotard can't quite keep up with the KTM SMCR at the bottom. The torque of 63 Nm is worthy of all honors for a stew, but Austria has the edge, 73.5 Nm torque. But that doesn't detract from the fun, we just always turn a little higher and off the fox goes. Below 3000 RPM, the engine is reluctant anyway and informs the driver of this beyond doubt, even by shaking it roughly. On top of that, not only is the sound more awesome, the engine also feels more comfortable there and makes up for it with endless pressure. The chassis of the Hypermotard is fully adjustable, the damping via rotary switch on the fork tubes. The Sachs monoshock is also adjustable, so there's nothing to complain about here. The tires used are the Pirelli Diablo Rosso 4. The bike rides accordingly well, the contact and feeling with the road is always there despite the immense suspension travel. We don't have any suggestions for improvement here either. This Ducati also deserves special praise when it comes to quickshifters and brakes. The clutch assist works absolutely smoothly and buttery smoothly in both directions, and the M4.32 4-piston fixed caliper from Brembo goes to work poisonously, but still well dosed. The Hypermotard 698 mono has only a single disc at the front, but it measures an impressive 330 mm and is operated by a radial brake pump, also from Brembo. Result: hard deceleration with the least hand strength. While we're on the subject of the levers, these are beautifully designed, adjustable and look very valuable. In general, the machine makes a high-quality impression overall, which is to be expected at this price. The cables running above the cockpit don't quite fit in, which is probably due to the long suspension travel. When immersed, you can clearly see the long distances these cable harnesses have to take. The Hypermotard 698 Mono RVE comes with a 2-year warranty with no mileage limit. The service is due every 15,000 kilometers, which is very generous for a single-cylinder engine. The fuel consumption of the Duc is 4.8 liters, which results in a maximum range of 250 kilometers with a tank capacity of 12 liters. Well, it's just a supermoto, not a touring steamer. Testing on supermotos is always a lot of fun for us. Probably because we don't really fit on this kind of bike anymore in terms of age. Nevertheless, we also shouted loudly into the helmet out of sheer joy. See test video. The Ducati does everything right here except for the sound when stationary, and will certainly find many friends. After all, it is now stronger than the competition.
Ach du Scheiße! Okay.
3, 2, 1. Ab geht die Ducati. Ja, 100. Aber gar nicht so schlecht.